Okay, so we're playing War Thunder, and today we're gonna be doing some dive bombing with the SBD-3 Dauntless. Yeah, so very good plane to start off with. It's a naval dive bomber, so this plane is a fairly good plane, and yeah, I mean, not saying the Dauntless is bad or boring anything, but this might be War Thunder's best dive bomber. Yeah, I know some people might not know or might not agree to this, but yeah, the Dauntless is an impressive dive bomber, no matter what you guys say, because as you can see, like the Dauntless is the only plane to have a kill ratio of 3 to 1 to 1. I guess that's the kill ratio. So yeah, for each Dauntless lost, it killed 3 more Japanese targets for each Dauntless lost. Because of this really good, it's really good, but that's just how it was in real life. And in War Thunder, well, in War Thunder, the Dauntless is pretty much the same, except for better, I guess you could say that. So we all know some real good Dauntless air brakes. Yeah, they have air brakes, just like that. They slow you down and have the flaps. I think they're mostly air brakes, yeah. And you do have a rear gunner also in this part, so yeah, you can just fire anybody you like, just like that. Yeah, I mean, great, right? They have a rear gunner. What else could you ask for? And the rear gunner's turret is kind of strong. I'm not gonna be lying. It's actually pretty good. But yeah, the only problem it has is Dauntless is heavy. Yup, you heard me right. The Dauntless is quite heavy, very heavy. And more heavy it is, the more slower it will be. See, since it has the extra armor protection on it, that is why it can sustain a few more hits than other planes usually can. Also means that the Dauntless will be slow, and the heaviness just doesn't make it that fast. But is it maneuverable? Because if it is, then we could still use few of the tricks to get out of the line of fire or even outclass some fighters. See, it's not the most maneuverable, but if you can make the most out of it, say, yeah, it turns well, so it should be maneuverable, right? Well, one thing is there which isn't so good for the Dauntless, and that is speed. Because of its low speed, it can't get to higher altitudes that much. That's one of the biggest problems, and it takes a lot of time for an SBD-3 to actually come up at altitude, then dive bomb, then turn, get altitude while turning, and head back home safely without dying. So there's no guarantee that he'll actually survive, and the Dauntless is easily outclassed by other better planes like the 109 and yeah, other turn fighters which are not the most best. So that's just a small thing which I want to say. And unless we can start our dive bombing. Also to dive bomb in the way where you don't see that much people because after bombing you'll be at a low altitude. You'll be quite slow, so yeah. Get a more better look on your enemies and always try to kill this one, the one which is armored you can't destroy with machine guns or cannons. Just destroy it with this one. Let's take care of your altitude, so drop your bomb. and turn for home. And as you can see, we got that. So now, once you're done with your bombing run, start turning back for home because there's no way you can just go on fighting enemy fighters. You have to go all the way back to the runway now. So the runway is apparently right over there. It's pretty far, but the only thing you can do with the Dauntless right now is, you can still use it. I'll explain how. So once you're done with that, use your 50 cals, okay? Yeah, 50 cals, use them for the best. And my teammate got him. That's okay. So yeah, as I was saying, you can just use the 50 cals for destroying these other enemy targets. Your air brake down, F2, and start opening fire. And as you can see, you can still use those 50 cals for, just destroying the other people, other AI targets, or the other ground targets in the game, okay? Because they still are present, but that's what you can do. It's great. Just be really, really careful while being low on the ground like I am right now, because the Dauntless isn't that maneuverable, or isn't at least the most maneuverable. So yeah, it'll be hard for you to pull up. Besides, with your air brakes on, it'll be even hard. As you can see how hard it is for me, try not to get your air brakes this time, okay? And just try doing more like something like this, okay? We'll just try doing that. If that works, we'll go on with it. This, yeah. Getting a headlock on would be great. Yep, and we destroyed it with our Dauntless. As you can see, all the targets are destroyed except that one singular target. So, once you're done, head back for home because you're done with everything you can possibly be doing. Try to be at least 500 feet so that you don't get caught by the enemies. And we can get ourselves refueled and just repaired a bit. I'm not damaged at all though. So yeah, that's what you can do. That's how you can do some dive bombing with the SBD-3 Dauntless. That's actually good. So while getting altitude, just make sure to be fast enough to go back. But getting kills with the Dauntless, I'm not sure about that at all. See, that's one thing, but sometimes I feel greedy, so instead of turning around for home, I turn back to give chase. Even with not having the bombs, I still have the 250 cals. So instead of just going back home like that, I actually go by destroying a lot of stuff, destroying their army as much as I can. And then when I see that I'm out of ammo and everything, I use my rear gunner. When I see my rear gun's out of ammo, I'm like, okay, my plane has no ammo left. Now you have to go back home. And that's what you can do. So dive bombing in War Thunder is a lot fun than you guys think it could be, but yeah, it's also a bit hard. It's like really hard sometimes, but yeah, with a little bit of skill, you could easily defeat them. Get our air brakes because we're doing another bombing run, and get a head target on who you want to attack. Okay, so now we're back in the cockpit view, and uh, yes, I think this is good enough. As you can see, we took off without dying again. because I don't think there are any more fighters in the group left. And even if they are, they're pretty much weak by now. Have given up, something like that. So here I mean the bombers. Yep, they have a lot of advantage. They can just go down, take on these artilleries. Yep, and one more's down. As you can see, that's what you can do with the Dauntless. It's pretty good aircraft. I'm not gonna lie, but same time you need to be careful with it, or yeah, you don't go that good with it. I've only gotten like 5 kills with the Dauntless, but you could get more. The more time you spend with the aircraft, the more you know about it. This is actually my first aircraft which I purchased. It's my first bomber of the US Navy line, so it's my favorite one. So you can see simple Dauntless is a lot more better than you think it is. Once you see the grass, you know you have to attack. Simple. And without air brakes, you'll just go faster. But when you go slower, just gives you more of that precision thingy, right? So let's turn around for another run and get your air brakes engaged. Put them like that. Get them over here and get your new next fire on the line. And that's how you can do it. As you can see, I've destroyed a bunch of ground targets in this game. Now it's time to track your air brakes. Turn around for the next run and destroying those artillery shells. Once you're done with that, keep using your rear gunner as much as you can. You have to use your rear gunner to its limits so that gives you a much of an edge. There's only one person left and he's right over there. He's 23 kilometers out. So I don't think anybody would go to catch him. So yeah, I guess I'll do the work then. And just so that now it's safe for you. Need to get more people to actually protect you in the early of the game. But don't forget to pull up. As you can see, sometimes when you don't pull up, that's what happens.